welcome to this week's episode of Cooking with Connie. Now, this week's recipe is going to be for Dennis. Dennis asked me, he commented on our stuff and said, hey, do you have any mint cookies? So this week we are going to make mint chocolate cookies. So Dennis, this one's for you, so make sure you check it out. So I basically took a regular recipe and then I've just converted it to my version of it. And so what we're going to start with, we've got a stick of butter that I have melted in here. And then I have got 2/3 of a cup of our monk fruit allulose sugar, and then 1/4 of a cup of the brown sugar monk fruit allulose. So we're going to put that in there with our butter, and we're going to whisk that together so that the sugar gets melted in there with that. All right, then we're going to add the egg whites. So I have 2 egg whites here. Let that all whisk up there too. This is a pretty simple recipe. All right, so I've used 1/4 of a cup of this nice Dutch cocoa, and then I've got a cup of our Connie's baking mix. So remember, that's the one that I formulated myself. So this is a gluten-free baking mix, and it calls for a cup and then a tablespoon. So we're going to put that in. I'm going to mix all that together. Over to a spoon rather than a whisk, you know. All right. Then we're going to put a little vanilla extract. So we're going to use a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon here because I'm going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of the mint. So put 2 of those in. And then we've got some pure peppermint extract here that we're going to use. A nice minty flavor to that chocolate. Stir that up. Then, to add even more flavor, now you can do this a lot of different ways, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Mint Choc Zero white chocolate chips. Now, you could mix in some dark chocolate with here too. I don't know that I'm going to need the whole bag because this is a small batch, but we'll stir them in and see how it looks. You can never have too many chocolate chips. Oh no, we can use the whole bag. We're going to put it all in there. Give us a nice. All right. So that's all we got to do for the batter, and then we're going to put this in. You're supposed to set it in the refrigerator for 2 hours. We're probably going to pop it in the freezer and leave it in there for about 30 minutes, and then we'll bring it back out and we'll start baking these cookies up. So pretty simple recipe, but I'm sure this is going to be delicious. So we'll be back when we get ready for the next step. All right, guys, so we put these, we kind of sped that up. Instead of doing 2.5 hours in the refrigerator, we put them in the freezer for about 30 minutes, so they're set up pretty good now. So we're going to use our cookie scoop and just put these on here. Then we're going to be putting them into a 350-degree oven, and we're going to bake them for about 10 to 13 minutes. And then when we get them out of the oven, we'll come back and we'll show you the finished product. Hey guys, here are our gluten-free, sugar-free mint chocolate cookies, and they are going to be delicious. So remember, we used the Choc Zero mint chocolate chips. They're white chocolate. You could also put some dark chocolate in with that if you wanted to. Or Barb was just talking about maybe she'd leave the mint flavor out and put peanut butter chips in this chocolate recipe. But whatever you want to do with them, this is a real easy recipe. This batch only makes about a little over 12.5 cookies, so it's not an overabundance of cookies, but remember that you can freeze your cookie dough. So go ahead and make it up into balls, freeze it, save it for a later time to bake so you have fresh cookies anytime, and that way you don't feel tempted to eat all of them at one time. But we are going to be giving these a try with probably a glass of milk here in just a few minutes. So remember, like, share, subscribe. email us at cookingwithconniegf@gmail.com with your recipes, and we'll be happy to modify them and make them into something that is gluten-free, sugar-free, and Connie approved. So make good choices, and we'll see you next time.